All right. So, first of all, thank you for doing this.
No problem.
Okay. I have to give you like a quick introduction, part of my assignment. So, hello, Olivia. My name is Emily Simons. I am a nutrition student in the Introduction to Nutritional Counseling class at University of Houston. This is part of an assignment in which I am practicing being a nutritional counselor. Do you give me permission to videotape this assignment?
Yes.
Okay. Do you give me permission to show this tape to the class?
Yes.
Okay. It'll just be three of my classmates and possibly one dietetic intern will be seeing this, and of course my instructor, my professor, might also see this and grade this video. Is that permissible?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So any notes that I take while we're doing this, like, don't worry about it. I just want to like write down a few things just so that when we get to the end, I can kind of figure out maybe what we need to do for our next session.
Got it.
Okay. All right. So first of all, tell me what you want to accomplish today and why you agreed to do this.
I would like to accomplish a way to make a healthier lifestyle, healthy eating, more enjoyable, but also easier, more accessible, less time consuming.
Okay. All right. Are there any nutritional questions that you have for me right now?
None as of yet.
Okay. Any concerns?
None as of yet.
All right, cool. And I'm just going to use this to refer back when we get there. All right. So what kind of changes do you want to make?
Pre-planning food. A lot of times I'm hungry and I buy something, a bagel, which is not the healthiest thing to eat in the morning, or I'll stop by the Chick-fil-A on campus. So the changes I'd like to make are planning ahead in food and also not feeling bad about my decisions about what I've eaten after it's already been done.
Do you feel bad often?
Well, I feel bad after, I stop and get Chick-fil-A when I know I could have had a salad at home when I already have all the ingredients there.
Okay. All right. We'll get into that a little bit deeper, like your current state, but I want to go over your history first. Are there any family, like a history of health issues in your family, diabetes, weight issues, hypertension?
Yeah, my grandpa died of diabetes, type 2 diabetes. He had several toes removed. Are we just talking about health, or are we talking about anything?
Mostly nutritional based. If it's lifestyle based.
Okay.
Kind of.
My mom is one of 3 sisters. Both of her sisters struggled with eating disorders.
What eating disorders?
Bulimia, both of them. One of them anorexia and bulimia. And on my dad's side of the family, there's high blood pressure.
Okay. All right.
And my aunt has diabetes as well.
Okay, so so there's a good percentage of people in your family that struggle with maybe weight issues or food related diseases.
Yes,
okay.
And it's all type 2 diabetes as well.
Is that something that concerns you today?
Yes, definitely.
In your future?
Yeah, they started when I was 13. I've been getting blood tests done every year because of the prevalence of high blood sugar and high blood pressure in my family.
Okay. All right. So you guys, your whole family kind of watches all of this stuff?
Yes. After the death of my grandpa, a lot of people started watching it more.
Okay. And now, specifically you, kind of give me, how does food make you feel? How has it made you feel your entire life? Kind of give me a history of your relationship with food.
Now at almost 22 years old, I feel very comfortable with food, but that was not always the case. I struggled. My relationship with food was a very turbulent beginning between the summer of 7th and 8th grade when I was 13 years old, and I changed from a very small private school to a very large public school, and that transition, I think, was a little bit difficult for me. Not difficult in the fact that I struggled to make friends, but difficult in the fact that I wanted to start my new school not overweight. So, because I when I was younger, I definitely struggled with weight issues.
Did you feel that you were overweight in your head? Did you think, oh, I'm 13 years old and I'm overweight?
Yeah, well, I went to a doctor's appointment for my well child's, and, they informed me and my mom that I needed to
Really
have, a healthier lifestyle. They didn't specifically say overweight, but they do calculate your BMI. And they informed my mom and I that I did need to lose some weight. My parents had divorced 2 years prior, and in those 2 years, from 11 to 13, I would say I gained a lot of weight.
So you remember kind of maybe gaining weight during that time?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Okay, so it's a present memory.
Food was definitely something I turned to. And I was also placed on antidepressants for 1 year as a child, which definitely escalated my weight gain.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How did you live with your mom?
I spent the normal divorce agreement, the standard. I spent with my mom up until with my dad, every other weekends with my dad, and then every Thursday with my dad. So most of the time with my mom, but still I saw my dad a good amount.
How did your mom handle the news that you needed to lose weight? What relationship did you have with your mom as in relation to your prepubescent?
My mom, I would say, has also struggled with food in a weird way. She's never, at least, told me that she's had any specific disorder with food, but she's always been on and off a diet her entire life. So upon receiving news that I needed to change some of my lifestyle habits, I would say she approached it a little too vigorously for a 11-year-old.
Could you expand on that, like too vigorously, maybe an experience that affected you?
Slices of turkey wrapped in cheese and a green apple for lunch.
Okay.
And that was a little weird for an 11-year-old.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you. So, would you say that this issue was body image, or was it more extreme than that? Growing up.
I really didn't. I noticed that I didn't feel comfortable with myself when when boys got involved. When we were 12 or 13.
And then moving to the public school.
5th grade.
A lot more.
I started noticing it before I went to the public school when I was still in my private school. I mean, there were only 30 people in my grade.
Mm-hmm.
And so word gets around really easily. And, when I gained weight really, really quickly in those 2 years. So I definitely picked up on some comments from my classmates. But but it wasn't until it wasn't until the summer between 7th and 8th grade that I really felt like I wanted to look different. And it was honestly based on a comment a girl said, so.
What did she say?
A guy liked me and she said, "You're dating the fat girl." And I didn't, as a 13-year-old girl, you're going through so many hormonal changes already. It was a little bit disheartening.
Yeah. Did you take any extreme measures at all during this time?
I took extreme measures of that were definitely that should not have been taken.
If you're comfortable with talking about them, you can.
I first started to restrict my diet very, very much, in the fact that I would I would try and only drink water and fill my stomach with water because I was hungry. And then when I would eat, I remember I was in a theater camp and I'd bring like strawberries and apples, and then I just drank water, but that can only go on for so long. And then after a while you get really hungry and you eat finally, and you eat a lot. Mm-hmm. And then you're so hungry, you just eat so much you don't want to stop, and then you make yourself throw up.
So you did did. Okay.
Yeah.
How often did you do this?
It started off not very often. It started off with me trying to maintain my very strict diet of fruit, crackers, and water.
So starving yourself.
It started as that, and then making myself throw up was only I only did that once, I had succumbed to eating. It started off as that, but then as, I guess whatever this is progressed, it became only that because it was easier for me.
We see that often,
Yeah.
even in our nutritional counseling class, things like this metabolize into other addictions or vexes. So, when did you start experiencing bulimia?
When I was 13, the summer between 7th and 8th grade.
How long did that go on?
Up until I was 15.
Okay.
Up until my freshman year of high school.
Okay. And
it didn't just stop all of us. It tapered off. But
how often did you make yourself throw up in a week?
at what point?
When it started to end, how did it
at
progress?
The worst of
Yeah,
this?
at the worst. We'll go with that.
Twice.
Twice a week?
No, twice a day.
Oh wow. Okay.
8 to 10 times. Yeah.
Okay. Did you ever find recovery in this in some way?
I never talked to a nutritional counselor about this, actually. I only spoke to physicians, and ironically, the physicians just treated a condition that was the result of those habits, but the recovery I found in stopping making myself throw up was confidence. And I wish that I didn't, it weren't this, but it was honestly just finding a boyfriend that really made me stop, and that made me, I guess I felt like at that point I was skinny enough to get a boyfriend. Honestly, it sounds really bad, but when I look back on it, that's when it stopped.
Did you ever tell your family?
My mom found out from the physicians, but she doesn't know the extent.
Okay. Was there any medical intervention? Obviously you had physicians, so.
Yeah, I actually, after it had all stopped, after I was no longer, in bulimic, I started getting really bad my sophomore year in high school. After I had stopped, I started getting really bad stomach pains, kind of what people would, I guess, experience as acid reflux.
Okay. And
the pain would get so bad that I couldn't eat anything. I was it sounds gross, but burping all the time. I'd wake up burping, and the pain it just felt like someone was slitting my stomach open. I went to the ER twice with my mom, and they decided, and morphine, no pain killers could stop it, so they decided to do an endoscopy. And,
oh wow.
Yeah, and so I went to
and this is to fix the stomach ulcer.
Yeah, they referred me to a pediatric gastroenterologist. This is before they knew what was going on. They referred me to a pediatric gastroenterologist, and then I went to the pediatric gastroenterologist. They scheduled an endoscopy, and then when they were scoping me, I was 15, and they. In post-op, they didn't discuss anything with me, but there's a post-op appointment a few weeks later, and the physician pulled me aside and said, is there anything you'd like to let me know about your lifestyle habits in regards to food? My all the acid from vomit, I guess, over the past few years had eroded part of my
a part of the lining.
A part of the lining, my esophagus. It was something that was easily detectable to them, and I had a small peptic ulcer in my upper, in the upper part of my stomach, which was causing all this pain. And he said that it's extremely uncommon to see that in young adults. It's usually, or children. It's usually mostly older people. And my dad actually has a history of acid reflux too. He has no problems with food, but it was just, that's also my family. It was just a lot together, bad combination. So that's when my physician, let me know that, this was something I would have to, he didn't know that I had already stopped. So he was very concerned, but.
Did he intervene privately, and did you ever have anyone to talk to you about or confront you about what you were going through?
No one ever confronted. That was the first time anyone had ever confronted me about it, and it was after it was already over.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were done with it, and you were sorting out the ulcer, and.
Yeah, I would say.
So you would say that your recovery was something that happened on your own, going through this eating disorder and body dysmorphia.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess that was something I figured out on my own.
After your medical procedure at 15, you kind of trailed off. You stopped your eating disorder. You kind of recovered on your own with that.
Yeah, it was a combination of feeling secure in my appearance, in that, well, if I'm in a relationship with someone, then I must be skinny enough to, for someone to like me, and also exercise factored in. I started running a lot because I joined the soccer team. I started running half marathons, so I felt comfortable in eating, because I was exercising so much.
Okay.
And it was also something I did with my mom too. We ran half marathons
Together?
Yeah.
Okay. And how did running make you feel?
It made me feel like I had accomplished something. You set a goal, you finish it, X amount of miles, and then it would also make me feel happy due to all the endorphin release and all of that. And I love running. It was very fun.
And hungry again. Yeah.
Hungry. Yeah.
All right. How often do you run now?
Not at all anymore. Maybe I'll run once every 2 months, but I used to run 4 times a week regularly. My time is mostly taken up by studying, and I know I could run more if I wanted to, but I feel very anxious whenever I'm not studying, and when I'm not studying, I'm relaxing and going to bed.
Just want to wind down. Okay. Is running something that you maybe want to attach to your goals in the future, or you want to start doing again?
Absolutely,
Okay.
yeah. Running is a way to incorporate any sort of time dedicated to exercise in a day without it feeling without it feeling like it's taking away from studying.
Okay. And then planning ahead for meals.
Yeah.
Kind of comes naturally when you start to do the things you love to do again. I know that you study a lot, so hopefully we'll try to find something to work around that. How is post-diagnosis, post-recovery, the rest of high school, after your bulimia, how did food make you feel?
I gained a lot of
there to now.
I gained a lot of weight after I stopped, and that was, I did a lot of research, and I learned that was normal, that your metabolism was, out of whack after all of that, and that made me feel really insecure. And then I got a really bad haircut, and that also made me feel really insecure, and all that happened at the same time. So I definitely entered a phase of insecurity again, but after all of those procedures and tests and doctors, I knew better than to, ever engage in bulimic activities again. But what ended up, making me feel more confident was I just started running again. My senior year in high school, I ran a half marathon with my mom.
Oh, wow.
And so that made me feel, a lot better. I mean, I didn't get thin, I got healthy. So, yeah.
Alright, cool. Thanks again
No problem.
for sharing the history. It's not easy to do, particularly in your situation. You went through a lot from what it sounds like. I know we know each other, so we've had like many conversations about your relationship with food now. That's why I feel so comfortable sitting down with you, because I know where your head is, but I'm excited to help you kind of move forward.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, so moving forward to now, you love food.
Yes, I love food.
Okay. Yeah, you know that.
My dad used to be a chef, so I've always been surrounded by really, really good food. I love to cook. It's something I do with my boyfriend now. I love food.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The best way for us to do this is get a 24-hour recall and rundown on your busiest day. What do you eat? When do you wake up? Is it hectic? Do you go straight to class? Kind of the best of your abilities. How's your eating in a day?
So on my busiest day, I will wake up at around 10 in the morning. I don't have class till late in the afternoon, around 1 p.m. So I wake up about 10. I'll go to the library. I'll head to the campus, go to the library, finish, get things ready to start my classes, and I will not eat the entire day. If I have time, I'll make some eggs before I leave. That happens maybe half the time, but normally I don't eat. If I'm starving, I'll stop at Einstein's and grab a bagel at some point in the day, but otherwise I won't eat until I get home from school around 6, maybe. I'll have a snack, not sufficient to keep me through the rest of the day. And then after I'm done studying around 10 p.m. to midnight, I'll make dinner with my boyfriend. We won't eat until 2. And then I'll fall asleep around 3, wake up at 10 again.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a busy day.
Yeah.
Do you stay up late? Obviously, you stay up late.
Yeah.
So the night before kind of trails into the next day.
Yeah, I stay up very late. I have a hard time going to bed early.
Is this something that you want to work on, or right now it's not something that you think you can fix? Like,
It's definitely, I definitely feel like if I worked on it, I could adjust my sleep schedule, but right now, it's definitely something that I can adjust. Yeah, it is. I should be, you can adjust your time clock. It just takes, it's a habit. You have to wake up earlier to go to bed earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I have a hard time doing that because, I do take ADHD medication, which does to help me focus in school, but it does elevate my stress levels. So I do find myself, even when I try and go to bed early, staying awake in bed and looking at the ceiling, thinking about stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you struggle eating during the day because of your ADHD medication and
I would say
staying busy.
That's a factor, but I would say mostly because of how busy I am. I don't ever have a time where I can sit down at a table and eat a meal.
Okay.
When I'm at school.
So you would say you usually have 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes just one with snacks.
Okay. And
that meal at the end of the day is a big meal. I eat a lot.
Okay. How does that big meal make you feel?
I go to bed right after.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. No digestion time.
And I know that's probably not good either, but
no, it's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, we're young.
But,
so
yeah, I eat and then I just fall asleep.
Yeah. Okay. What do you guys usually make?
A lot of we used to eat not really unhealthily, but in the past 4 months, mainly grilled meat because we got a grill, and steaks, chicken over arugula with balsamic vinegar.
That's a really great meal.
Yeah.
It is. Is your boyfriend supportive in the eating, and does he also follow any kind of dieting or?
Oh, he's the one who advocates for it.
Oh, does he?
Usually, yeah. He is he's the one who wants to eat healthier. He's a strong advocate for a healthy diet.
Do you tend to follow him in that, or do you kind of do your own thing?
When I'm with him, you know, I'll eat whatever, you know, he and I agree to eat on, which is, you know, usually grilled meat over salad. But if I'm starving, I'm gonna stop at Chipotle and get a Chipotle.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. Do you feel that you eat out? Do you want to eat out less?
I always want to eat out.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really like to eat out. More because the food is good, but also because I feel like something social, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's something, it's always, when you eat out, something exciting is happening. It means something good. Eating out is fun. Usually we're surrounded by friends, usually means a good time. It's not just sitting at a table at home eating while you're working.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do still want to work on meal planning a little bit better for yourself. But eating out is something that you really enjoy to do, and
Yeah.
you don't think you do any of that, or
I
you have a
definitely-
good time doing it.
I
or-
definitely could eat out less, yeah, but I do.
But it's something that you enjoy.
Definitely.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so I know that you don't run as much as you
Used to.
used to or want to. Is that correct
Yes.
assumption?
Yeah, I
Okay.
wish I could. Yeah. I wish I
Do you work outside of school?
could. Yes, I work as a nursing assistant in a hospice facility on weekends.
How many hours a week do you do that?
I would say, so my shifts are 8 hours and they're from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. So it's a fairly, it's not a very heavy workload, but I'm also in school. So over the summer I worked full time, but when school started, I lowered my hours to just weekends.
Does the work affect you in any way, stress related? Or
It's definitely increased my caffeine consumption.
okay.
That's pretty much it. But yeah, it's a stressor, but I haven't noticed it affecting my my relationship with food at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So your stress often, just want to make sure I understand this. Your stress often gets in the way of prioritizing your food and your lifestyle.
Yes.
Okay.
Time management, I would say, is the biggest thing I deal with.
Do you feel like you're taking care of yourself enough?
I feel like I could take care of myself more. I definitely feel healthier than I felt when I was, 13, 14, 15, but I definitely feel like I could be taking care of myself more. That's something I actually think about often.
Okay.
And it's something that I hope I can focus on more once I've gotten that degree and I'm out of school.
And just clarifying, taking care of yourself, meaning the spectrum of just balancing yourself a little bit better and taking stock of your mind and your
Yeah.
body and awareness.
I'd like to wake up in the morning and make a great breakfast and have a lunch planned, already packed up to take with me to work or
Okay.
school and be able to run 4 times a week. That would be my perfect definition of a balanced, healthy life.
Okay. Before this, have you ever set any goals for yourself that maybe you didn't accomplish? Like you just said, running 4 times a week. Have you ever tried to do that and then?
Yeah, I try in college. I really tried to start running, or not start running, to continue running. When I entered college my freshman year, that was after I run half marathons with my mom. I tried to continue that, but I don't know if it wasn't as much a big enough priority, if I didn't have enough time, but it wasn't something I was able to continue.
Okay. It sounds like you're pretty driven with school. You have a lot of future goals. So you're a nursing assistant at an assisted living home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you want to do after that?
I'm applying to PA school right now to become a physician's assistant.
Would you say that you prioritize those accomplishments over, I kind of talked about this, but
over healthy
Yeah.
eating. Yeah, I would say right now I feel like in my mentality is do whatever it takes to get there, and then once I get there, I can take care of myself a little more.
Okay. Yeah, there's like the saying, and a lot of young people feel this way. It's like, I don't care how I get there. I just want to get to success
Mhm.
and then be happy later.
It's really competitive. It's really hard seeing everyone around you
Mm-hmm.
doing better or feeling like it just classes are very difficult.
Yeah.
And the attitudes people have in class, it's very cutthroat. So you're reminded constantly that there are people better than you that will get a job that you want.
So in this session, what we want to accomplish, how quickly do you want to accomplish something between me and you? Say this were to continue and we were to continue to discuss these things and your nutritional and lifestyle goals. What is the priority for those things between our sessions?
My priority first would be to recognize that taking care of yourself should probably come before anything else in regards to prioritizing needs. I would say that something that I could gain from sessions with a counselor would be acceptance of the fact that I need to take care of myself before I can take care of anything else I want.
Okay. What would be the first thing, say you were going to start working on changing the things that you want to change, say you were going to start working on that tomorrow, what would be the first thing that you would want to start working on?
Go for a run.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's very important to
Yeah.
you. Kind of number one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I feel like that's what starts it all, is exercising, because then you feel like you're already out. Then once you've started exercising, there's a reason to eat healthier.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason to continue what you're doing.
Do your body crave the healthy food when you do the runs?
I don't know if it's my body or my brain, but you think, oh, I just got out there and I just went for a really good run. I feel great.
Yeah.
You want to continue feeling great by putting good things in your body.
Okay. Awesome. That's a really good note. That's going to help kind of figure out what we want to do moving forward. So with this information so far about your current routine, the impact of your past, how you feel now, I think the best way for us to utilize our time together is maybe to focus on developing your mindfulness. That sounds kind of like hippie, and I don't want it to scare you, because a lot of people say that, and it kind of just goes, for me, a lot of times when people tell me that.
Yeah.
So focus on your mindfulness throughout the day.
Mindfulness meaning being aware of how I'm using my time.
Right. So by mindfulness, I mean mindful eating, being aware and listening to what your body wants and taking stock of that whenever you possibly can. I know that you're really busy, so that's a really hard thing to do, and it's maybe a goal that I would recommend us working on. Of course, that's going to take time, so we'll slowly start taking stock of your feelings.
Got it.
Okay. And that's just a little bit. I'll give you a schedule and a rundown in just a second.
Okay.
But are you willing to do that anytime soon, or is there kind of a time crunch?
No, I am, in the process of applying to PA schools. The next year will definitely be, a rush to the finish line, but I think I definitely want to start trying to be more mindful. I think every year you delay that, maybe you could take off even more years of your life at the end.
Okay. So you're willing to make changes?
Yes, I am.
All right. Sorry, I just have to assess that.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have some ideas of what we can start to work on.
Mm-hmm.
Just slowly kind of bringing some things into it. Like I said, the mindful eating that we just described. also bringing back some of those exercise habits that you really liked and you kind of felt benefited your overall well-being.
Ready.
Okay. I'm gonna go through a routine that I think I want you to try to work on. You don't have to work on all of these things. I have a few things that I wrote down based on what you told me. So, do you keep a planner?
Yes.
Do you like to document things?
Okay. Love it. I love my planner.
You typically do that for school, correct?
Only for school and work, yeah.
Okay. So, how would you feel about starting to journal things that were not necessarily school related?
I'd be open to it, definitely.
Okay. So, first thing, I maybe want you to try to just journal your feelings when you wind down at the end of the day, if you have the time to do that. That's kind of hard to do. I know journaling is not for everyone.
Would you say that it has to be strictly pen and paper?
It can be whatever you want. And it can be as simple as just like, here's what happened today and here's how what I did today made me feel. And particularly geared towards how much you ate and whether or not you went for a run. And if you wished you had gone for a run, if you didn't, those kinds of things. Taking stock of the relationship that you're in. It sounds to me like it's pretty stable. You guys have a really great thing going on with your food and okay. So that's one thing. Also, this is something that I really want you to try to do, just so that in our next session I can get a better understanding of your schedule with eating. If you have the time, journaling the things that you ate that day.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of priority over this like mindful journaling, like how you felt during the day. I really want to know the next time we meet exactly what you ate.
So you would encourage eating more during the day?
Right. So yes. Even if it's just snacks. I know you mentioned the ADHD medication. I don't want to get too deep into that, but whenever you can snack,
I'm sure that those big meals right before bedtime aren't the best either. Yeah.
Maybe that could limit how big that meal is, and then kind of balance out the whole day, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's another thing that I want to see next time we meet. Pretty much like the most important thing I want to see, so that I can start to create a meal plan that works for you. I did forget to ask you, do you have any fear foods? Things that you just refuse to eat? Any kind of food that just turns you off to?
Refuse to eat as in I don't like to eat it?
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes? Okay, so anything, like there's nothing else. It's not
Nothing
like
else. I'm not
you're
a
pretty
picky eater.
not very picky.
I love
Okay.
all food. I just don't like raw tomatoes.
Okay. How's meat for you? You're herbivore, omnivore.
I didn't used to like bloody meat, but I've actually started developing a taste for it. So I'm very comfortable with eating meat and poultry and pork.
Okay. All right. Yeah, just wanted to make sure. So you said that you try to eat eggs in the morning. I really want you to try to reserve time every morning to have breakfast. That's really hard to do. I know if you're staying up late, you want to get as much sleep as you can. So I completely respect that and relate to it.
I'm sure, yeah.
So that's fine. With snacking throughout the day, if you could set some kind of reminder or alarm to just like
or maybe
have a snack.
A certain, like in between this and this class, it's like snack time or something.
Yeah, and right now, like any kind of snack. I mean, preferably like something that you like that's a little bit more healthier.
I was about to ask if there's something you recommended.
Do you have healthy snacks? Like when,
I really like broccoli and cauliflower.
like the just raw?
Raw.
Do you dip it in anything?
Well, I've heard that dips are bad, but would balsamic and oil be fine?
Anything is fine.
Okay.
Like honestly, based on what you told me with like this, you know, little bit of breakfast, big dinner, like you've got to get from what you've told me, anything is fine as long as you're.
I'll probably be more productive during the day if I have those snacks too.
Do you like a hummus or?
Hummus, yeah.
You can
hummus.
even do ranch, honestly.
Yeah.
And if you really want to do balsamic, you can do balsamic.
I love ranch, so.
But you like it with the dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do things that you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like 100%. If you don't like the way that it tastes, then it's not worth eating it.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you're following something that you like to do in regards to the snacks.
Oh, I also hate zucchini.
Oh, zucchini. Okay.
But
Cucumber?
I love cucumber.
Okay. All right.
Just zucchini.
Just with all that, the reminders, if you want to do that, that's something that I recommend. Try not to let your stress get in the way of what your body wants. Just take stock and eat when you can throughout the day. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, totally, dude. Let's see. Running. Okay. Let's ease into running because I know how stressed out you are from what you told me.
And it's also, running is hard to jump back into. It's pretty messy when you haven't done it in a while.
It takes some kind of like build up. You've got to kind of train back into the endurance.
The first one's always the worst,
Okay.
but it gets better after that. But that's definitely something I'm very eager to get back into sooner rather than later.
Okay. Then if you can, this next week, with everything else that I told you that you want to work on, maybe try to carve out just one day in the week to go for a run. One day where you feel you have the time and the energy to go for the run. I think that would benefit you from what we've talked about. I know you said 4 times a week was what you used to do. That's a lot. That's a lot of times a week.
And I also would do that with my mom. So it was something that I wouldn't have to make myself do in a way. My mom would wake me up and we would go do it.
Right.
So,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll give you a flexible schedule of that. Like,
Sounds great.
just kind of like a list of those things. And then for the next time we visit, bring me the report of the food.
Okay.
Food journaling was really the big thing that I want you to do.
Okay.
Just so that I can kind of see what you like to eat. And like, you don't even, if you didn't eat what you like to eat, just write it down.
Okay.
And just kind of like put a little star, just be like, didn't necessarily feel good after eating that. And I can kind of start to gear towards a good like meal plan for you. I don't want to give you like, I don't want to jump right into it.
I see. Yeah.
You know, one thing will work for one person and it won't work for the other person. So,
Got it.
once a week, go for a run. Let's see.
Journal food.
And then the next time we visit, just be prepared to dive deeper into that mindfulness with eating and then awareness of your day.
Okay. Just time management.
Yeah. Like I said, journaling is really hard for a lot of people. I completely understand that. It's kind of new territory sometimes.
Yeah.
So next time we talk, we can talk about journaling.
Okay.
And feel good? All right. When is the next time that we can meet up?
Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm free after school, so we can like do a follow-up, kind
Sounds
of
great.
see how this week went. Do you have any questions for me before we part?
No, I think I asked all my questions already.
All right. Thank you so much, dude.
No problem. Thank you.
Appreciate it.